Thanks for watching Living on the Cheap and trying to figure out. I got my handy dandy notebook and a cup of coffee. Just make sure I stay on topic. Today we're going to talk about 5 things to check up on your finances. This is what we should be doing every couple of months, probably every 3 months or quarterly, just to get a hold on what our expenses are, where our money's going, and making sure our money's working the way we want it to work, not the way the other guys want it to work. So number 1, rate hikes. Here in Canada, our rate hikes have gone up a second time in, I think, the last couple of years or a year. It's gone up 1% from 0.75%. Now you're thinking 1% is not a whole lot. It's not, but it's actually going to affect you if you have a line of credit, a mortgage. Actually, credit cards went up too, I noticed. So if you have any kind of debt, it will go up. Mortgages, you can't really help if your mortgage is due. If you're not due, you're okay for a little while, but it will go up once you have to renew your mortgage. Line of credits will go up because you have prime plus interest, and the interest rates went up. So if you have a lot on your line of credit, that means you're going to be paying even more, and if you can't afford it, that's going to get you into a lot of trouble. So check that out right away so that you get a hold ahead of time so that you're not behind or falling below the deadline. Number 2, Murphy's Law. I wrote Murphy's Proof, but it's Murphy's Law. We want to prevent Murphy from ever coming in or moving into our house. And Dave Ramsey's reasoning is, it's going to happen. No matter what, something will happen. The car will break down, the water heater will break, your heater for your house will break, something will break. And so to prevent this from happening and making you go even more broke than you already are, have an emergency fund. Now Dave Ramsey says you just need $1,000. I think $1,000 is great. It has saved me a couple times, but I think you should build around that. I believe his name is Dave Chilton. He has a book called The Barbers. Oh, I wish I knew the title. The Financial Barber? The Barber? I don't know, something about a barber. Look him up. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at names. I really, really am. Anyways, he talks about paying yourself first. Do it in such a way that you won't even notice that you're doing it. And so he recommends that whenever your payday comes in, you take money out and put it into a savings account right away or into your RSP or whatever. What I recommend you do to build up your interest, not your interest, but to build up your, my cat's climbing around my camera, so I hope it doesn't fall. To build up your emergency fund, what I've done is I have my bank account automatically on payday put in $100. Now $100 might be too much for you. Put in $10. If you get it done every payday, twice a month or 3 times a month for some people, you won't even notice the $10 missing from your check. Put it into your budget line as a savings, and you won't notice this money missing at all. And in the end, it'll start building and building and building. And next thing you know, you have $2,000 saved up. So when that water heater goes, you have money left over. You're not going to wipe out your $1,000. So I totally recommend doing this. Just want to make sure I've got everything going over. Oh, another thing with Murphy's Law. Check over your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance. Things that you should check is, do you have fire and flood? Are you covered for that? Why or why not? What is your coverage amount? Is it enough to cover everything that you need? What is the deductible? The deductible is quite important. You could lower your deductible if you haven't made a claim of any sort. Usually when you lower your deductible, you save money, but if you lower your deductible, you need to talk to your insurance broker. I know we lowered our deductibles on our car insurance, but because we have older cars, it didn't really make a big difference. But our homeowners insurance, we got broken into many years ago, and it actually went up so much. And I didn't realize that after 5 years of not having any break-ins or any claims, that we could call in and get it reduced. And after about 10 years, I think my insurance broker called me and said, do you realize you're paying a ton if something was to happen? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you don't really look over. And I'm like, no, what I look over is what's covered and is it enough for me to get by? So like my furniture and stuff, if we were in a flood and I had to move somewhere else and start over, would I be able to cover all our stuff? Or most of our stuff's for living. And so she told me actually it went up double. Yeah, double. So we got that brought down and it was fine. I didn't even get charged more for that because I had been a customer for about 15, 17 years or so at that point. So that's something to look into. May not affect you immediately. It may affect you later when Murphy tries to move in and you give it a kick in the booty. Sorry. Number 3, free money. And you're like, free money? There's no free money. What is she talking about? Actually, there is. You can get your sorry. No, the camera wasn't rewinding. That was me trying to get the words out. You can get your employer to match your RSP, and I strongly recommend this. A lot of people don't do it, or not enough people do it. A lot of people work and don't realize they can get an employer match. If you work full time, talk to your employer or your home human resources, not your home, your human resources person within your company to talk to you about matchups. A lot of companies will match dollar per dollar up to a certain amount, so up to $2,000 a month, or maybe up to $1,000 a month or something, but they will match. Also, RESPs, there is a government grant to help you match up to $500 per month per child or per RESP, and that's free money. If you put in $500, you get another $500. That's $1,000, or is it $500 a year? I can't remember. See, this is why I have to look at my paperwork when I do stuff. So check it out. It is worth looking into for free money. Number 4, second to last. Reducing your fees and repeatable expenses. And you're like, what the heck is she talking about? I can't reduce my fees on my gas. I can't reduce my fees on my hydro bills, my hot water bills. No, but you might have a gym membership that you stopped using after the first 6 months and you're still paying for it and you don't even realize it. Or maybe you paid for a music streaming service that the first few months you used and loved but stopped using. Go over your Visa bill or your credit card bills, whatever you've got that you're paying, and go through it line by line and see if there's anything on there that you're not taking advantage of but you're paying for. And if you are, take that up. Go call the company, cancel it immediately, and maybe put that extra $25 or whatever the cost was towards your emergency fund. Why not? You didn't notice the money was missing, that you're paying it every month onto your credit card anyhow, so might as well put it into a savings account and grow your emergency fund a little bit quicker. Talk about that. Yep. Bank fees. Do people pay bank fees still? If you're paying bank fees, maybe you need to talk to your bank. Maybe shop around. I know way back when I shopped around, I was not happy with my bank. They were charging me $25 a month. That's a lot of money when you times it by 12. And you times it by how many years you've been a customer of theirs. And I believe I was a customer with this particular bank for about 4 years, and my husband had been one since birth. His parents opened him an account, and right away at birth, and he had a few $1,000s by the time he was graduated from high school. And they were charging him fees when he started using that account. And so we went in and said, we don't want to charge fees, you can go somewhere else. And they lowered their fees, which was great in the beginning. But then we realized there was other banks and credit unions that don't charge any fees until you do not a withdrawal, but a overdraft. Makes sense. My mistake. Don't ever do an overdraft. Sorry, my camera's moving a little bit because my cat decided to cuddle up to the camera. Silly boy. Anyhow, so maybe you should go into your bank and tell them, they're not going to withdraw your bank fees, that you're going to go somewhere else. Check around first, make sure somebody locally does offer no bank fees. You'd be surprised actually how many people get away with that. Or maybe do switch if that's what you need to do. Number 5, make a plan to reduce your credit card debt. Now, I know I had mentioned that I had paid off my second debt. Actually, I didn't realize I'm completely credit card debt free. Sorry, that just sounds so awesome, just so awesome. We only have a line of credit left, and so it is a bigger amount. It's the biggest amount we have left. And typically we had 2 credit cards, and the 2 credit cards were the equal amount of our line of credit, and it should take us a year if everything goes well, knock on wood. If everything goes well, in 1 year we should have that paid off and be completely debt free. So that is the plan, but you need to get rid of your credit card debt. Credit cards will eat you up. They will raise interest rates for no reason whatsoever, not even tell you. Well, they'll give you a warning. They'll give you, on 1 month when you receive your bill, they'll say next month your interest rates are going up to this amount. End of story. I remember one time it happened to us and I couldn't afford it. And so I called into the company and I'm like, you can't raise the interest rates. I can't afford to pay. I'm barely affording what I'm paying now. And they're like, you have to. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then the month after that, So then, oh, okay, I only paid the interest and I couldn't pay any money towards the credit card. They actually lowered my limit. So I can't remember what it was now, but let's say it was a $10,000 debt. And my credit limit probably was above that. I'm not sure. But then they decided to give me a $5,000 credit. The card only went up to $5,000, so I had to pay $5,000 off immediately. It can happen. There's nothing in your contracts that says they can't do that. So get a handle on your credit card debt as soon as you possibly can. In fact, if you found $25 in a bill that you were paying for a gym membership that you never used, maybe put that towards your credit card instead of the other way around. But yeah, pay it off as soon as you can. If you need help on how to start a budget, not how to start a budget, but the very first step to do before you can even start a budget, check out my video. I will put it in the eye in the sky. Until then, we will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget that you can subscribe right here by hitting on that little piggy. And also, YouTube will select this video just for you to watch. And here's a playlist that you can watch of mine as well. We will talk to you soon.